let's do this one. It's a long one. Be prepared. This is gonna be a long one. But this is the most hated mayor in America. So buckle up, chat. This may be, well, you need to hear a while. But it's Big Boss, so he always makes these kinds of things entertaining. So let's go.
Video sponsored by Ground News. The year is 2021, and Dolton is a village in the township of Thornton, Cook County.
Hold the fuck up.
2021,
Hold the fuck
and
up.
Dolton is a village.
This was Dolton, Illinois. Whoa, stop. Oh, shit. Okay, wait a minute. Where are we? It's been a while since I've been to Dolton. Where are we? Okay. Got Dolton here. Phoenix is here. Harvey. Dixmoor. Oh. Okay. All ready. All fucking ready. I can see why this is a shit mayor. Dolton is like smack dab in the middle of shit central in the southern suburbs of Chicago. Dixmoor, Harvey, Phoenix, Riverdale, these are all known to be like high gang and drug locations. Every fucking one of them. They're surrounded by gang and drug infested locations.
In the township of Thornton.
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, Dixmoor, Posen, Harvey, South Holland, Calumet, Burnham, Riverdale. Yeah, this is Blue Island here, Robbins. This one is one of the worst Robbins is one of the worst drug dens in America. Midlow is okay. Oak Forest okay. Markham, this is where the fucking courthouse is. This is where the courthouse is for Cook County. This is where the Cook County District Court is for this area. Markham that's where the courthouse is. Hazel Crest right south. Country Club Hills, also not a great place. Flossmoor and Homewood, they're actually decent. Flossmoor and Homewood are decent. Glenwood's decent. But yeah, this section right here, not a fun time. Not a good spot.
Cook County, Illinois. It's around 20 miles south of Chicago, and home to roughly 20,000 people. 30 years ago, it's a fairly nice place, but now, not quite. A dire job market, regular shootings, corrupt officials and financial mismanagement. Public fitness centres being hired out for strip shows. The people...
Wait! What? What? Public fitness centers being hired out for strip shows? I'm honestly conflicted. On one hand, I want to say, what the fuck? And on the other hand, I want to kind of go, based. I'm conflicted, honestly, how bad.
People of Dolton had had enough. Something has to change. In April, it's Dolton's mayoral election, and this year, a woman named Tiffany A. Henyard has entered the ring for the first time. Born and raised in the village, she'd been a trustee, a locally elected official on the village board, voting for things like budgets and contracts, for 8 years now. She also has a bachelor's degree in business administration and an entrepreneurial background, owning her own burger restaurant. And now, she's just clinched the Democratic nomination for Dolton's mayor and is running against independent Ronnie Burge. Her campaign message was clear: unity. It's time for change. We need love, transparency, and accountability.
Already, I'm seeing a problem with this first line. Already. And thank you, anonymous gifter. Ibo, you know her? She came in, she became mayor after I left that area. So, I recognize the name of the original mayor, but she got the mayorship after I'd already moved to Canada, so I don't recognize her. But I will say this first line, we need love as your first line. That idea. If you said we need transparency, accountability, and love, okay, that might have been different. The fact that there's a prioritization of love in your messaging, red flag to me. When you're the mayor, the first thing should be your responsibility is to make the town run, not love.
Says lots of knocking on doors and handing out flyers. And on April 8th, the votes come in. And she'd won. Bigly. More than 80% of the vote.
Wow.
Tiffany Henyard is now the first female and at 37 years of age, youngest mayor of Dolton. The village is saved. May 8th, 2021. Tiffany Henyard is sworn in. The after party is big. It goes hard. So big, so hard, it ends up costing around $15,000. But it's fine. Tiffany's
off to a great fucking start. Wait. We just won the mayorship. Now we're going to rack up a $15,000 bill. What the fuck?
Says her campaign is covering all expenses. A few days later, and the administration comes together. She appoints her staff, who she's calling her dream team.
Okay, I'm pausing a lot. My apologies. You notice, I'm calling her right now, that $15,000 she said the campaign was going to cover, I'm calling her right now. That's coming back, and the campaign did not cover that. I'm calling her right now because we would not have had that in there where they're like, this costs 15 fucking grand, and she's like, oh, it's fine, the campaign will cover it, and then move on. That's coming back. Guarantee you that's coming back. There's going to be some embezzlement shit happening here, I suspect. That's going to involve that.
And board meetings go ahead as usual. This is during COVID, so these are currently on Zoom. And things start off pretty good. There's this Stop the Violence thing in June, the first fireworks show in Dolton in over a decade in July, a walk for cancer in the autumn. Also, some door-to-door knocking for police feedback, a few food giveaways, some tree trimming, bouncy castles. Things are alright. She apparently has this big calendar of things she wants to do. Loads of events, giveaways, etc. And it's not long before she's calling herself the People's Mayor. And
okay. Lots of fun, feel-good shit. When are we actually going to get to the mayoring? When are we going to get to the part where you are the mayor and actually get to work? Eh? You think she's going to... Well, Reaper, I have zero doubt that race is going to come up. Zero... When anything involving the police in our town, that always comes up. That's a given. So no bet there. But I'm sorry, when is she going to actually get to doing her job? She's already, she's already touting on Twitter, I'm the first mayor woman of Dolton, the most powerful woman in the Southland of Chicago. Okay, it's a bold statement, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for her.
Super mayor. Towards the end of 2021, however, and problems begin to brew. In the village, a teenager has been left dead after a fatal police shooting, and Henyard is publicly siding with the officers involved. This is not
Okay. Wait, let me hear what he
popular.
says.
And protests.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to fault her for that. This is not, of course, this is not knowing the case history. Let's see. What does this say here? Investigators haven't yet said if Wilson was armed. Said she has not seen the body camera video, but is confident village officers acted appropriately. They did do the right thing. If anything, they have saved the community from any crime that could have happened last night. All right. Supporting the cops, I'm fine with. However, this was a poorly done statement. This was poorly done. The fact that she had not seen the body camera footage yet, that she was still waiting on reports, waiting on investigation, because there would be an investigation into this was a piss poor statement right here. This was an absolutely poor statement. The better thing to have done as the mayor would have been to say, I'm standing behind my officers and I'm waiting for the full investigation of the shooting to take place. Like, jumping off immediately and saying they did do the right thing before you've seen body camera footage and done the investigation. Exactly, Sketty. She should have taken a neutral, saying, like, I'm not going to condemn that, something along the lines of, I'm not good at politicky talk, but something along the lines of, I'm going to, I'm going to support the officers in their investigation to ensure that a proper investigation into this has been concluded, and leave it at that. Don't say they did the right thing until you've seen the evidence, until the investigation's concluded and you have an investigation report to it. So this was bad. This is probably what people got pissed off about, is because from the get-go, she's like, I got the cops back. They did the right thing. And she doesn't even know if they did do the right thing or not. So that's a fuck up.
At her home, 20 officers show up for security. In September, the super mayor hires a registered sex offender. He'd spent a quarter century in prison for crimes involving minors and had just got out in 2018. Henyard allegedly knows about this and decides to make him a code enforcer.
Sorry, fucking what? You're gonna hire a pedophile in a position of authority as a code enforcement officer? Okay.
You are made of stupid.
That is possibly the dumbest fucking thing she could have possibly done. Holy shit! No, Durhan. Code enforcement officers don't work with kids. A code enforcement officer is basically someone that will write like parking tickets, and they'll do tickets like for people that have their don't clean up after their dogs, or I don't know. It's local code and local municipal code enforcement. He does? What do you mean? Okay, maybe he'll get into it. Because when they said code enforcement, that's what I took it to mean. Not work. Yeah, like enforcing city code, like local city ordinance. But maybe there's more. It's still a position of power and authority that you're giving to a fucking pedophile. Fuck me.
Basically, he's employed specifically to go around knocking on people's doors and into their homes for inspection.
Yeah.
For some reason, this doesn't go down well. Protesters respawn and rush Village Hall. However, now, calls on Henyard to resign are beginning to bubble. In October,
in the first fucking year, she couldn't even go 1 year without doing some of the most brain-dead things and giving a really stupid backing of police before seeing an investigation, and then hiring a fucking pedophile with the authority to enter people's fucking homes. Couldn't even last a fucking year. Yeah, this is a super mayor. Oh, yeah.
New code enforcer is accused of lying during the offender registration process and rearrested. Despite all of this, he keeps the job for almost a full year. That same month, and a woman named Dorothy Brown is in the news too. She's the former Cook County Court clerk. Basically, she'd been in charge of one of the largest court systems in the country for around 20 years. Those years, not great. And she'd end up stepping down in 2020 After years of federal investigations, corruption probes, and multiple employees convicted of bribery and misconduct and
Oh
arrested,
my god.
Henyard describes her as her godmother and mentor, and she's now the village administrator.
Jesus! Okay. So she's stacking up criminals in her pocket. Oh my god. Honestly, though, well, LaRuck, a fair chunk of Cook County is not great. Dolton, as I pointed out at the beginning of the video, Dolton is like smack dab in some of the worst parts of Cook County. It is surrounded by some really bad communities that are just drug and gang havens. Like Harvey right next door. Harvey is really fucking bad. The town of Harvey is gang fucking central and is 100% fucking corrupt. So, and Dolton is right next door. This is honestly not overly surprising, but the boldness of it is what surprises me.
Naturally, back in May, the board had a few questions about this, but it was fine. She'll be transitional, Henyard tells them. She's gonna be there, max, a few months. So they agree and vote her in. And now, she's on the taxpayer payroll again, at around $100K a year. But fast forward to October, and she's still there. It's coming up to 6 months now, and not so much as an online job posting for the role. Henyard's trustees, not happy. In November, Henyard decides to make some changes. With recent events, a variety of concerns are coming through during board meetings. And since the start of COVID, this has been done through the live chat function of YouTube. But now, chat's getting muted. Got a complaint? Well, here's an email address. Send it there, and we'll definitely read it out during the stream. Trustees' microphones are also being muted, and they're not a big fan of this.
Oh, yes, chat. Transparency. Yes, because this administration was all about transparency. Oh my god, this is falling apart so fucking fast.
Rage quit, and the meeting is adjourned. Some rough waters here and there, but overall, Henyard ends her first year confident. The village had hired 8 police personnel, 3 firefighters, and had just begun the process of reopening a damaged firehouse, she says. She's also delivered a balanced budget that was implemented on time, something that was rare for the village. She'd had some hurdles, but overall, she's doing great.
Okay. How badly did she cook those fucking books to deliver a balanced budget? I will guarantee she cooked the ever-living fuck out of those books in order to deliver a balanced budget. I'm guarantee that. That's coming back.
She says. Before that, the modern media landscape is horrific.
Live from London, this is BBC.
Misinformation, bias, lies, wildly different headlines coming from all directions. Absolute bedlam. But with Ground News, things are different. Ground News is a small, independent team that aggregates tens of thousands of articles a day, highlighting their ownership, factuality, and political bias. Glimpse behind the curtain, and see what's really going on.
I gotta say, Big Boss is really good about sneaking these ads in, so it seems like it's part of the regular video when he does it.
Trump taps
and
Mike
yes,
Waltz
Alex,
as
it was a
US
clip from Bruce Almighty.
Names Rubio as National Security Advisor. Give it a click, and Ground News will serve up summaries of the story filtered from left to right-wing coverage. We can also browse the headlines, where on the left, the New Republic is saying, Signalgate idiot Mike Waltz fails up into new job in Trump cabinet, showing it in a bad light. While on the right, the Western Journal labels it, a painful defeat to Dems, making it sound good. Ground News is also the only app with the blind spot feature, showcasing stories reported on one side of the aisle and ignored on the other. This feature is good. I check it to make sure I'm not missing out on important news due to selective reporting.
Okay, I'm going to point out one thing here, and this is about the ad, and this is, chat, it's side tangent time. I don't think this is going to be helpful. Because if you can pick, okay, you get reporting on the left, you get reporting on the right. How about facts? How about reporting of facts without a bias whatsoever? How about that? I don't want reporting done with a left or right bias. I want something that is just about the facts. I don't care about the biases. I don't want the biases. So Ground News can say it shows the left bias, it shows the right bias. I don't fucking care about either. Yeah, like, give it all central. Give it all centrist. That's all newspapers should fucking be, is centrist. Anyway, tangent over.
Ground News is the best way for you to zoom out and get a clear picture of what's going on. Cut through the noise and spin of mainstream media and see things for what they are. And for a limited time, you can scan the QR code here or punch in ground.news/bigboss and get the same Vantage plan I used for 40% off.
Heckle, that's a good choice.
In January, the village administrator role is finally filled. Dorothy Brown is out, and a man named Keith Freeman steps in, joining the Dream Team, which is now quickly becoming a nightmare. There's a massive rift growing between Henyard and the trustees, and they're currently outright refusing to work with each other. People in the village are also starting to notice something. Her name and face, they're popping up quite a bit.
What the fuck?
Almost every village scheme, event, poster, pretty much every social media post, and there.
Oh. Okay, how much is she skimming from every single one of these events? No, Garrett, I don't think it's Big Brother's watching you. She's running this popularity contest. She's trying to say, I'm so fucking popular. How much is she skimming from all of these events that she's facilitating in the town?
She is. Even on the village hall itself. In fact, if you go to Dolton on Google Maps, 2 pictures come up. This is one of them. She's also on Instagram, and she's posting a fair amount there too. Vlogs, selfies, dancing, parties, and a lot of singing.
Okay. With the Instagram thing, that's a gimme. Okay? With the Instagram, that's a gimme. It's fucking Instagram. This is honestly what you would expect. Thank you, Jack. Well, Reaper, she's trying to kind of, it seems like she's trying to present herself in a similar light, doesn't it?
Some of the posts are interesting, and some bold statements are made.
Martin Luther King had the dream, but guess what? I am the dream.
She's also mowing a few.
Ew. Fuck. Oh, shit. Okay. That is a real good fucking way to piss off your African American constituents. Real good fucking way to piss them off. By basically saying you are better than Martin Luther King? Oh! I will guarantee you plenty of her black constituents went, go fuck yourself with that bullshit. You, sweetheart, are not better than Martin Luther fucking King.
Few lawns and plowing some snow, and she wants you to know about it.
I help everyone. It doesn't matter what you do or say about me.
Also, a lot of dressing up and shooting music videos. The village is clearly in good hands.
Okay. Chat, anyone remember what I said when it comes to, and I'm using this word very liberally in this particular instance. Anyone remember what I've said about heroes? And when it comes to popularity about heroes, does anybody remember what I said about that? For those of you that might not have been here and did not hear me say it. And again, in this particular instance, I'm using this term very liberally. In this particular case, I'll say a good leader. Okay? A good leader doesn't need to broadcast and advertise that they are a wonderful leader. They have no need to do that. The work that they do as a leader speaks far more loudly than they ever could by saying it from their own lips. If she was a good leader, her work would precede her. If she was a good leader, it would be the community saying that she's the good leader. Whereas she would just be putting her head down and working and trying to make her town the best she possibly could with everything that she has. So the fact that she is constantly having to tout the fact that she is a, quote, super mayor means she is precisely the exact opposite. Congratulations. You played yourself.
In March, the supervisor of Thornton Township, the head of the governing township of Dolton, is no longer alive, and his position is now up for grabs. Now, Thornton is the largest township in Illinois.
That's quite big.
It has around 160,000 residents and oversees 17 towns and villages, one of which our little village of Dolton. So this is no small position. In the running for new supervisor, 9 potential picks, and Tiffany is last on the ballot, so things aren't looking too great for her. But regardless, the township trustees gather and voting kicks off. And she'd won again. For the second time, she's the youngest person and first woman to fill the role. She'd now be controlling both village and township level budgets.
Fuck. Yeah, Jack, that's what I'm suspecting too. Me suspect there are some voter fraud No. Answer, this is not a DEI thing. This, I think, is a voter fraud shenanigans. Either that, or there's something going on behind the scenes. Wait, what? What, Leo, how? How? How did you... Okay, Leo, get with one of the mods. Talk to one of the mods. If we can fix it, we'll fix it, okay? Talk to one of the mods about it. No, Garrett, her Instagram game is not peak. It's not that peak. I'm guessing there's going to be some shenanigans happening on behind the scenes. We'll get there. We're only 10 minutes into this. We'll get there.
Naturally, some people raise some concerns. Conflicts of interest, consolidation of power, financial mismanagement, etc. But these concerns are quickly brushed off. Thornton was saved. Hopefully she can bring the township to where it needs to go. It needs to go to another place, a Thornton trustee says. And it would. April 10th, and Tiffany is sworn in as supervisor. She now has her $50k Dolton salary with a nice new $220k slapped on top.
Okay, that shit should be fucking illegal. That should be fucking illegal. You should, if she is going to be the township supervisor, she should not be allowed to be mayor. If you are going to be the supervisor of the Thornton Township in its entirety, you should have to step down as mayor. Garrett, I could not tell you. Now, she's not the mayor of Chicago, okay? She's the mayor of the city of Dolton. So it's different. My guess is the mayor of Chicago probably makes upwards of 6 figures. That would be my guess. Although I do not know. I could not tell you what the mayor currently makes as salary. This should not be legal. It should be in the fucking bylaws of the township that if you become the township supervisor, if you hold any other public office, you need to immediately, if you are voted in as the supervisor, you should step down from your other political seat. This is a gross fucking conflict of interest and should not be allowed. The problem is this township is probably not the only one that allows for something like this. That's the issue. This is one instance. My guess is a lot of the townships have a similar operating system. That if you are in a position of a political position in one town, and then you become the township supervisor, you still maintain that other position, which should not be allowed. It should be in the bylaws that you have to divest yourself of any other authority if you are going to be the township supervisor. That should be a law.
That's a combined salary of almost $300K, more than the state's governor. She wastes no time
216,
getting
Hunter?
settled
Okay.
in.
That's what 216, that's kind of about what I thought it would be. Honestly, that sounds about right, considering.
And in Thornton Township Hall, heads roll. The township's executive assistant is immediately fired, alongside a few others. And that new township manager looks familiar. Back in Dolton, and more issues are brewing. See, in the US, there's a thing called the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. It's a law that gives the public the right to access government records.
And we are very familiar with the FOIA requests, aren't we, chat? Pretty sure Nick threw a fuck ton of those at the Buffalo School District as of late. Huh? Yes, the Binder of Doom. Yep. Oh, I can't wait to hear about these.
Internal emails and texts, financial documents like invoices and budgets, stuff like that. And turns out, there's a ton of these requests coming in. People are asking for a slew of documents. Village finances, licenses, permits, contracts, personnel details, and so on. So
Nick, when did you take an interest in Dolton and the Thornton Township? Jesus! Does the south side of Chicago have its own Nick working up a binder? God, I hope that's the case. That would be fucking awesome.
Julia tells her village administrator, just don't respond to any of them. Genius. However, this is illegal.
You violated the law.
So in April, the village clerk files a lawsuit against her. Trustees have also just voted to sue her. There's a series of complaints here, but conflict of interest, hiring and firing without board approval, and using Dolton's checkbook like an open credit card.
Oh yes. Oh fucking yes, I saw this one coming. No, it's not. I think it should kick in once the timer for the pixie cut comes up. If it doesn't, I'll engage it myself. What do you want to bet? It's gonna come out that this covered her after party. Using Dolton's checkbook like an open credit card? What do you want to bet that she used the city of Dolton's finances to pay for her $15,000 after party? Betcha.
Chief among them. She's also apparently just dishing out village checks to people, with only her signature and the clerk's signature stamp. However, this is without the clerk's knowledge or board approval. Also, the clerk's access to village bank account information, well, that's just been revoked. Trustees of the village could no longer actually see what's going on with finances. But it's fine. Tiffany takes it upon herself.
No. Okay. How is there not a police investigation happening after all this? Seriously. Like, what? Have police reports been filed and requests for an investigation happened at this point? Not even on the local level, but on the state level. Like, shows the Dolton police, but okay, Aranami, that was my question, because this is finance crimes. this might be something the FBI might be investigated in. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I imagine that the first calls might have been to the state police. Because, obviously you wouldn't want the local police to investigate because there could be considered conflict of interest. So I could see someone approaching the state police or even the sheriff's office. Although more than likely it would be the state police that would facilitate the investigation. And that could eventually get bumped up to the FBI depending on how severe the financial crimes were. So I'm just amazed there are not big calls for it already. That's what surprises me, is we are not already hearing calls for a police investigation of some sort.
To host Big Bingo, a traditional bingo night for village seniors. It had now been quite a few months of turbulence, and despite some phenomenal work, people in the village aren't too impressed. Add on top the recent allegations of financial mismanagement and conflicts of interest.
Was that talking about the stamp? They say the mayor kept the village board from meeting and is using those clerk staff to pay bills without the board's knowledge. We're free to show the board warrants that show the bills the village is paying. Okay, yeah.
And things are reaching boiling point. Residents, trustees, the village clerk, everyone is just appalled. How could this be happening? She'd been so professional before.
There's nothing in those applications, and I told you,
And just...
Why is this dumb bitch videotaping it this meeting with her phone? You're the fucking... That is her, right? Yeah. You're supposed to be paying attention to your constituents, and she's sitting here on her fucking iPhone videotaping it.
And just less than a year in, the Dolton Village Board decides Tenured, probably not the right person for the job, so they go rogue, and scramble to pass through a public vote to recall her. One issue. Dolton doesn't actually have a recall process, so they decide to assemble one themselves, and in June, 2 questions are added to Dolton's ballot. The first, to establish a recall mechanism, and the second, to recall Tiffany Henyard.
Y'all make sure y'all go and vote no to the recall, because my work speaks for itself.
Yeah. Tiffany? If you were on the up and up, and you stood by your work, you would actually be on board with a recall because it's a fair and balanced method of governance. To be able to facilitate a recall if it's necessary. If all of your work was above board, if all of your work was as clean and proper as you... Oh, exactly. They don't have a recall law. So if all of her work was above board, if everything she did was on the straight and narrow, and if she's proud of what she did, she shouldn't have any issue of the creation of a recall law. She shouldn't have any problem with it. So she's telling on herself by telling all the people, vote no on enacting a recall law because I'm being targeted and I know I'm fucked. Oh, I fully appreciate them trying to recall her at the same time. I fully appreciate that. But if all of her stuff was above board, that wouldn't be an issue. Because she'd be able to basically give the fucking receipts and say, look, all of my work is as it should be, and I'm doing a good job as mayor. There's absolutely no reason why I should be removed. She can't do that because she's crooked as fuck. And that's why she is desperate. Yeah, that's why she's desperate to convince people to vote no. Problem is, people already fucking hate her. So this is not going to go the way she thinks it's going to go, I suspect. Although, I've been wrong before. Shit's come out of nowhere on me, where I'm like, there's no fucking way that people are this stupid, and then I conveniently forget rule number 1, and I'm proven wrong. So, oh, Jack, that's also a possibility. Rigging it. That is a possibility, too.
And both go through with 56% of the vote. It
okay,
was
good.
Voters had nipped things in the bud, and taken her out. Henyard was gone. Hold on. Before she steps down, a Cook County judge chimes in. That vote had procedural issues. Also,
I'm sorry? What? Hercula. Don't think I've ever heard that name before. One thing I was also going to point out is that she may be stepping down from her mayoral position. She still got the position of supervisor of the Thornton Township. So Dolton may have gotten rid of her, or at least are attempting to get rid of her, but she still got that position as the Thornton Township supervisor with that $200,000 paycheck. And the Thornton Township supervisor is controlling all of the books of the township. Leave us not forget about that part. And yeah, so what kind of bullshit is this judge gonna pull?
Cook County judge chimes in. That vote had procedural issues. Also, the questions are way too confusing. So he declares the vote invalid. She's staying in. So for Tiffany, celebrations.
And I just want people to understand, I'm happy. Leave me alone, because I am.
And signs.
You fucking bitch! You just had your entire fucking town say, we don't think you're doing a good job, and we actually voted to boot your ass. This was a town fucking vote that said, we don't like the job you're doing. We don't want you here. And you're sitting here doing that fucking thugget head bob thing. This fucking... She's a fucking hood rat. These people literally voted a fucking hood rat into the mayoral position. Because only a fucking hood rat would do that hey head bob thing about the fact that she just scammed the whole fucking town out of their lawful vote.
Hey, Tiffany, go sit on a bad dragon, wrapped in barbed wire, slathered in Carolina Reaper hot sauce, and rotate.
Wow, that sounds so good coming from Lola. God damn. and ZZZ fan, thank you for the follow. Will Carrot, that's just it. He said that the procedural issues was confusing questions and... Hang on.
That vote had procedural issues. Also, the questions wait.
Sorry, the quote-unquote procedural issues were not actually specified. My guess is they were probably never specified. The judges went, oh, there's procedural issues. My source is I made it the fuck up.
Oh, because I am.
And signs begin to appear around town.
Yeah, I am forever and will be Dolton's mayor. Not when the next election comes around. Unless you rig that one fucking too. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Who the fuck said that? Yeah, and she's saying, thank you, residents. But, bitch, the residents wanted you fucking gone. You're thanking the residents, and they all voted to kick you out. Or more than half of them voted to kick you out. Yeah, and Atanashi, I wonder how she's paying for these signs.
I'm your forever mayor.
After she won the recall, she put a sign around town saying, I'm your forever mayor. Which pissed a lot of people off.
Her first board meeting back also looks like this.
How y'all doing? Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate this. Okay, I see you.
This is a board meeting of trustees of a town. And you're dancing around like a bunch of dumb fucking hood rats. Every fucking one of you should, every fucking one of them that are dancing around, laughing and squealing like that, you ghetto bitches need to be fucking gone. You need to get the fuck out. Oh, no, this one's dancing. This person's dancing. Yeah, her and this one. Considering this is a board of trustees meeting, I'm wondering if this is another one of the board of trustees. But yes, she's 37, Ebo. She is. Oh, and this one doing this shit.
You was feeling that, huh? I feel you.
By summer 2022, in-person board meetings are back in action.
This is where I, the mayor, address the community about concerns, hearsay.
Now, historically, Dolton Village Board meetings have a thing called Citizens' Address. This is where members of the public get a chance to speak to the mayor and trustees directly, asking questions about what they'd just discussed and voted for, and voicing concerns, to which the mayor and trustees would respond. However, Tiffany has a different idea, and Citizens' Address becomes public comment. People can still make statements and ask questions. However, now, no one has to actually answer, removing the point entirely.
You think they're converting the police and military over to gangbangers and crooks? Just because it's fun and because they want to give you some power? Humanity's going to come together. We know we're under attack! Ah!
In September.
Okay, you know we're in a bad spot when we're using him as the voice of fucking reason. We're in a bad fucking place when Alex Jones is being used as the side of righteousness and reason. That's where we're at. This is bad.
Henriette decides to do some good, so she sets up the Tiffany Cares Foundation, a non-profit charity.
And my yard gnome, thank you for the tier 1. Yeah, Kira, I was actually kind of waiting for that voice clip, for that clipper, man. I will admit I'm a little disappointed we didn't get it, but...
Supporting people with cancer. In October...
Wait, what was that again?
Foundation, a non-profit charity supporting people with cancer.
Okay, so how much is she going to skim off that one?
October, she even organises a march to Springfield, a 10-day bike ride to the state capitol to try and pass a bill that would give tax breaks to cancer patients.
I have created a bill to give everybody $5,000 if you are suffering from cancer.
Pretty nice.
Typical, small-minded, hood rat thinking. So people that are suffering from cancer are going to get a one-time check of $5,000. Yeah, in the States, that won't even cover one treatment. $5,000 would barely cover one fucking treatment for people that are suffering from cancer. How about you put in a bill to actually give them continued fucking care for their cancer, instead of just a one-time check and go, aren't I so fucking wonderful? How about that? What? No. Of course she's not going to do that, because she knows that the people that she's that she's trying to curry favor from aren't thinking that far ahead. Well, Laura, you have to remember, in Dolton, there's a lot of low-income residents in Dolton. So to them, $5,000 might actually give them maybe 2 or 3 months rent and some grocery money. And that's where their head is at, because they're probably already somewhat destitute, because Dolton, they're not working, they're working minimum wage jobs at best. They're not living in the best conditions. They're constantly struggling to put food on the table, to make rent, to pay their power bill. And throwing $5,000 at them, they're like, holy shit, I might actually be able to make it for another 2 months. And so they're not in a position where they can think ahead going, yeah, this $5,000 is not going to do fuck all to help me with my cancer treatments, in addition to my cost of living. They're only seeing $5,000. It fixes the immediate problem. And because of the position they're in, that's all they can really focus on because of the position that they're in. So it's a fucking shuffle game. She's trying to gin up support for herself to make herself look great, when in reality, what she's offering is crumbs. And by the way, Mad Yard Gnome, thank you for the follow also, and I'm glad you've enjoyed the videos, and I hope you like the live version just as much.
The year is now 2023.
They're proposed, not happening.
Shootings are still ongoing, crime is rising, and taxes and water bills are going up. And Tiffany Henyard is currently constructing a $115,000 ice rink in the middle of the village. The board would never approve of this, so Henyard slid an under-the-table payment to a contractor, and they got to work. However,
misappropriation of funds, anybody? Yeah, your utilities are skyrocketing, and you're gonna piss away $150,000 of the town's money to build a fucking ice rink when people are struggling to pay their fucking bills. She doesn't care about, in case it's not obvious, she doesn't give a fuck about her constituents. She just wants to look good. She wants surface level. Look at the things I'm doing for the town. I'm building the town an ice rink. Aren't I a super mayor? And ignoring all of the complaints. It's all surface level. She's literally a fucking Instagram mayor. That's what she is. She is literally a influencer mayor. She doesn't care about governing. She just cares about looking good on her Instagram. This is what happens when you vote in a fucking influencer into a position of political authority. You get shit like this. They only care about the likes that they're getting on Instagram and fucking TikTok. That's what they care about. They don't care about anything else, while also simultaneously enriching themselves from the coffers of the town.
the board eventually finds out and halts the payments. So Henyard shifts some cash to a separate contractor, and they finish the job.
It will be built by tomorrow. And remember, ain't no stopping us now. We on the move.
And on Saturday, the 25th of February, it's the grand opening.
3, 2, 1.
And the Justice Rink is open to all. Tiffany is quite excited.
It's your mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, the people's mayor. We here in the village of Dolton, and we about to get our...
Okay, bitch, you ain't Dwayne Johnson. Shut the fuck up. Don't even fucking try it. Even people don't even like the fact that Rock still calls himself the people's champ, okay? Shut up with that bullshit. You're not doing yourself favors.
Gato, remember, when all 5 of them trustees said no, look what God did. Ah! This is us on ice right here.
So, she just admitted to misappropriation of funds. The trustees that voted no, we don't want to spend the town's money on this, and you basically said, fuck that shit, I'm gonna misappropriate the funds and spend it anyway. You basically violated the trustees' vote. Pretty sure that's illegal. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about local law. Pretty fucking sure she just admitted to a crime.
See?
However, after that, rinks closed. That is one of the only times the public will be allowed in to actually ice skate. Turns out, maintaining an ice rink, quite expensive.
Wait a minute, what's this? This ain't enough. Make it enough.
They also have no staff to operate it. They couldn't even afford that if they wanted it. So from now on, it's essentially Henyard's own personal ice rink. Only open on events of hers.
It was only open when she was having an event there, and she invited the residents to come there to her event.
That's all right. Tell them. I got a feeling. Okay.
fuck up, you hood rat. She's a... No. She is Mayor fucking hood rat. You corrupt cunt. Okay, I really hope we start hearing about these investigations against her soon from the fucking FBI.
A second ice rink is also apparently in the works. Okay,
What?
trustees, seriously not impressed. They can't see the exact financials, but they know things in the village aren't great. So in an attempt to curb spending, they block all current and future payments to vendors. Tiffany hears about this, and she's not pleased. So in March, she rocks up to a village board meeting, dressed as a crack cocaine dealer from a movie.
Here she is starting a Dolton Village board meeting, dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City.
She also has a DJ, who's blasting the song Bitch Better Have My Money.
Pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ. I just had a question. And I'm looking for that Rihanna.
I'm good with you. I'm good with you.
She later denied.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, sweet fuck. How have the people of Dolton not already stormed the village hall and demanded she step down? Like, this is pathetic. This is absolutely... You have a dumbass ghetto wannabe bitch as your mayor. Holy fuck.
Is doing this.
Your critics
Yeah,
say
I know
you
as
came
an
dressed
Aussie.
up as
I know.
Nino Brown.
I did not come as Nino Brown. I did a scene from Martin. I did come as a scene from Martin. I even made fun about it and did a skit and posted it on my TikTok just to show people my sense of humor side.
In May, Tiffany and her staff pack their bags.
Oh my
It's
god.
time for business. And they take a plane to Vegas for an economic development trip. The same month, a Thornton Township employee is found with a bag of weed and an unregistered gun hidden under a government car seat.
They let y'all have weed in these cars? I know they don't. You know, y'all got a magazine in the vehicle. They let y'all do that? What?
He's arrested. The police in Dolton, interesting. Ever since those protests outside her house a couple of years ago, Henyard had kept a permanent security detail of at least 3 officers around her at all times. Her own...
Yeah, wonderful use of police resources in a town with skyrocketing gun violence. Yeah, genius fucking move there, bitch.
Personal motorcade, driving her around everywhere, even while she's running errands. And apparently, she's running the town like a mob boss with them. In July, a former trustee and vocal critic of Henyard wakes up to find a dozen bullet holes in her tenants' cars, parked outside her house. Before that, Henyard had turned up with a caravan of police and city workers, and before that, a snowplow.
I'm like, oh, you call me? Oh, no. We have Valerie Stars, look. Yep. And I'm helping her. I help everyone. It doesn't matter what you do or say about me. Everyone needs help. Just remember that. Watch how you treat people because you never know when you need the help.
Safe to say, she has suspicions about who did it. So she goes to the police to report the shooting. But they're not interested. They won't even give her a police report to file it. Also, own a bar in town and just refused a political donation to Henyard? Expect a knock on the door. Because police are allegedly also going around town, raiding bars and stripping their licenses. This happens to both Pablo's and Rinky's bar and cafe, with around 10 police cars rocking up and pounding down the doors. Customers are apparently pushed out the way and threatened with arrest, and licenses are revoked for both.
All the employees, they're gonna lose their job.
It's ridiculous. We all have mouths to feed, we all have kids. They're not giving us no explanation.
Lacey's Place, another chain of bars.
This bitch thinks she's Capone. No, Garrett, it's more like she's trying to turn Dolton into 1930 Chicago. That's what she's doing. She's trying to turn this into a Capone era Chicago. Yeah, she wants to pretend like she's a gangster.
Fails their license renewal due to a tax audit, and a local trucking company was raided and shut down back in January. They'd just turned down a $3,500 donation to Tenure. A ton of places are also having issues getting licenses in the first place. The suspected plan for this was simple: endlessly delay signing off on licenses needed by businesses to open up shop, despite the village board approving it, cutting off revenue, while they still have to pay rent, tax, and general overhead.
I'll just subtract it from today's profit. And there's no
Oh
money
my
in here.
God.
Eventually, facing bankruptcy, owners have to sell up at fire sale prices. The entire business can now be scooped up on the cheap. And once it's in our hands, look at that. I think the license is ready to go.
I guarantee if she pulled this kind of stuff in Kentucky or Texas, she'd get shot. Not that I'm endorsing this.
I'd like to say that, not that she would get shot, but that there would be a means to prevent her from. But honestly, it's I would like to think there would be legal methodologies that would be used to prevent her from doing this. Honestly, I am surprised with all of this happening. The moment that, okay, I'm refusing, I'm not going to give a campaign contribution, and now all of a sudden we're getting raided by the local police, or the fact that they would not take her report for her car, they wouldn't take a woman's report for her car her tenant's vehicles being shot up. I am still amazed that no one has contacted the state police about all of this level of corruption. I'm legitimately surprised that we have not heard about anyone even attempting to contact the state police about this.
The business is instantly profitable, and the location is flipped for a nice chunk of change. This almost happens to St. Patrick's, a newly built 3-story restaurant in the village. The liquor license had been approved by trustees, but Henniard says no, refusing to sign off on it for over 6 months. However, they sue, and she's eventually forced to sign by a county judge. There's also a local woman who'd bought a whole strip mall to turn into a non-profit food bank for half the county. However, Henniard says no again, and her permits and licenses are delayed for months on end, while she still has to pay the property tax, rent, overhead, and more.
She fucked up she fucked over a charity. She fucked over a charity. Okay. It's gotta be done. I was waiting on this, but when you fuck with a charity like this, go fuck yourself with a bad dragon, wrapped in concertina wire, soaked in ghost pepper hot sauce, you colossal thundercut. This is a fucking charity to help people who are disenfranchised by you. And you're going to fuck them over like this. Fuck you, you hood rat cunt.
If this isn't able to be funded, whose pocket does it come out of right now?
Mine?
In September, reports begin to dribble out, and turns out that police detail of hers, not cheap. It's actually costing the village hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Her officers are paid quite handsomely, and they're putting in some substantial overtime. One officer is paid for 303 hours of work in a 2-week period. That's 21 hours a day, every day. This results in a single overtime paycheck of around $13,000.
Hell no bit. The fucker. Hold up. Wait a minute. Do you want to explain, Tiffany, how someone is going to work 303 hours over the course of 2 weeks, Pop those books open, bitch. Yeah, the math ain't mathin'. Exactly. Let me see those books, you dumb bitch. And Shadows, thank you for the tier 2.
This results in a single overtime paycheck of around $13,000. The overtime checks alone are kicking officers up a tax bracket here.
Mayor, mind if I ask you a couple questions about your security detail?
Absolutely not.
I'm asking her.
Yeah, she says no.
You need security to protect you from questions from reporters?
That motorcade, not cheap either. The village paid $150,000 for one Chevy Tahoe.
This is brilliant, but I like this.
Around 40% of that is interest.
That's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're
Please
not making
facts.
great finance, excuse me?
Please state facts.
Cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Total lease price, $149,146.20.
Jesus, the interest is half the fucking cost. Holy fuck.
Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Due to all of this, the
course you don't
police
see
department itself, chronically understaffed, with only a few officers on shift at any one time. This is in a village with regular shootings and rising crime rates.
Yeah.
Naturally, the village finances are currently caving in, and the deficit is absolutely ballooning. It's fine. We'll just get the police to linger around private car parks, snap some pictures of cars that pull up to the pavement, and then mail them a $500 ticket a couple of weeks later. This is not popular. People look around town.
For fuck's
Something
sake.
seems different. It's not just Dolton. Now, her name and face are beginning to appear all over the place. You can't turn your head in the village or the township without seeing it. A full frontal assault on the senses. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
On the township's Instagram, an absolute blitzkrieg. It's peppered head to toe with pictures of her. Government vehicles, buildings, even
Fuck's
rugs
sake.
in the township. Tiffany A. Henyard. There's also Tiffany Henyard calendars.
Featuring all the important dates to remember, including her birthday.
And what's that in the distance? Is that? My God. There are 122 of these, costing the township around $22,000. The board was never consulted. And hold on, does that say Thornton? And new ones have to be made and hoisted up again, also on the taxpayers' dime.
For fuck's sake.
It's not just billboards. Purple banners are springing up all over Dolton too. This also costs around $20,000 and was never approved. The company installing them.
No. Okay, that doesn't seem right with Tom being the trustees laughing. The trustees, I'm guessing, are pissed. Well, I'm not quite sure this little caricature actually fits right now.
It's around $20,000 and was never approved. The company installing them says they've never been paid.
No, we have not received any payment for the banners or the brackets. The total is $19,899.60 with the freight.
But the vendor says they have yet to be paid for them and other items totaling more than $85,000.
I hate to say it because I did not want to go this route, but chat, is this starting to sound a little familiar to anybody? Is all of what's happening right now sounding a little bit familiar? Don't say who I know you think you're going to say, because I am thinking the same thing. Don't say the name. I want to keep that out of the chat. But is this not sounding very familiar? No, Dark Knight, it does not sound like Canada. No, the state is Illinois. This is in Dolton, Illinois. Not Chicago. It's in the town south of Chicago. It's about like 20. It's roughly 25 minutes south of Chicago.
Bro, that amount of money is making me start to sweat.
Okay, things are getting a bit concerning. But hey, at least Big Bingo is still going strong. In May 2023, some reports come out about Tiffany's cancer charity, and turns out, not so good. When she'd first registered it in 2022, she'd apparently hidden a little payment deep in the township budget, which board members signed off on. And on the same day the charity is created, it receives a $10,000 payment from Dolton.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is Nowhere, sir. I'm the face.
You're the face.
Also, that march to Springfield.
Wait. I need to hear that verbal diarrhea of an explanation again.
I'm the face.
You're the face.
Also,
the board vote to give your foundation $10,000.
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is Nowhere, sir.
It's her foundation, quote unquote. She formed it, and she's trying to pretend like it's not her foundation and that she's just the
So that was a
face.
lie.
No, bingo.
I'm the face.
You're the face.
Also, that march to Springfield. Let's have another look. Back in October 2022.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now bearing in mind it was the Thornton Township that signed off on it. This was not the city of Dolton that signed off on this donation. This was the Thornton Township that did. So the overarching township that Dolton resides within. So she's basically committing fraud and embezzlement and misappropriation of funds in 2 different locations.
Tiffany had organised a 196-mile, 10-day bike ride from Dolton to the capital of Illinois, where she said she...
I like that. That this person say, come out in Sporsby, take a journey on the walk. That this person just says, you're going to hell. Based.
Where she said she'd march straight into the halls of the state legislature and get a bill passed that would give tax breaks to cancer patients. And at 10 a.m. on October 4th, 2022...
Tax breaks? Tax breaks? She said it was give the people that have cancer $5,000. Not tax breaks. Why the change?
Set off. And Henyard and a few Thornton staffers kick off the march by getting on e-bikes.
Yeah, I see my bike.
How much
Also
did they pay for that?
On the march, a flatbed trailer with a photographer flying a drone, a DJ, a caravan, and multiple village and township vehicles. And of course, a ton of pit stops on the way.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Okay, that'll be $680.
Okay.
All courtesy of Thornton and Dolton supplied credit cards. Any bills and expenditures? Stick it on. And they wine and dine in a plethora of restaurants and hotel stays en route. And the march to Springfield ends up costing taxpayers around $12,000.
Walking through Dolton. Hi, we're Brightwood now. We are in Godly now. We in Bloomington, baby.
But by the way, I'm going to point out, walking from Dolton to Springfield is a long fucking way. Okay, I made the drive from that area down to Springfield. If memory serves, that was like a it's been a long time. I want to say that was a 3 to 4 hour highway drive. Highway speeds, and it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 fucking hours. And they're going to walk that? Yeah, that would take fucking, like, a minimum a fucking week. Bare minimum. That's fucking insane. Maybe Kumabira, but it was advertised as a walk.
I can pretty much map out their entire Springfield trip on the township credit cards.
This is excluding a separate payment for 1,000 white Tiffany Henyard t-shirts for the trip. That comes in at around $17,000. When they actually get to Springfield, the state legislature isn't even in session, and the cancer bill is never filed. It never existed in the first place. The charity also never filed a financial statement, so the state attorney general shuts it down. Tiffany claims she was—
Okay, hey State's Attorney General, maybe open up a fucking financial investigation onto her. Do your fucking job, Attorney General. Jesus, fuck, the level of fraud here is staggering right now.
never involved.
You are being called crazy, deranged, saying that you are stealing funds. You have a charity that from the Attorney General's office. I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation.
I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation.
However,
And
its
here we
Facebook
fucking
page
go.
shows it's literally just a rebrand from her burger restaurant page. June 2023, more reports. Apparently Dolton owes more than $427,000 for some street paving done in 2002. And that tree trimming, well, that's gonna cost $500,000. This is for a single month of it in 2023.
You're supposed to have a list of approved contractors that have been vetted. They have to check up on these folks to make sure they're good. There's no such thing there. She's just handing out these contracts willy-nilly.
Not one of
Okay, how many fucking millions did Tiffany put this town in debt at this point? The debt for Dolton has got to be in the fucking 8-figure mark at this point. Like, Terrarian, this is all that we're seeing. Imagine how much we're not seeing behind the scenes. They get to it? I hope so, homie. I'm today hazard to guess right now that the debt is somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 figures.
the 7 companies involved were on the village's approved contractor list. They didn't even have a contract with the village. Trustees are still refusing to clear Tiffany's bills, and lawsuits from vendors are now flooding in. A bank is also threatening to repossess more than a dozen village vehicles, including police cars, because lease payments are being missed. People in Dolton are now incredibly concerned, so trustees formally request village bank statements. They're denied. December, and during a board meeting, trustees in the township are handed a 7-page ordinance to sign at the last minute. There's no time to read it, but they sign anyway. And turns out, what they just signed means if Tiffany gets re-elected as supervisor, the position's pay stays at $224,000. Anyone else gets voted in, and that goes down to just $25,000. And
okay, I have a question. If they get handed a bill last minute, a 7-page bill, and they're told you can't read it, just sign it, I'm sorry, as a trustee, I would say go fuck yourself. I'm reading this bill. I'm not signing it until I fucking read it. That's what, as a trustee, you're supposed to do. So this one's on the fucking trustees, too. If none of the trustees had the balls or the tits to stand up to her and say, I'm not signing this until I fucking read it, then they're just as culpable on this one. Like, you are voted in to do a job. You are flagrantly forgetting. You're flagrantly just refusing to do this fucking job. No, exactly. Well, Eki, you're saying hell no. I'd say fuck no. I wouldn't even be that polite. I'd say fuck no. I'm reading this bill before I sign it, and if I agree with it, I will sign it. And if not, you're not getting my fucking signature. She previously put in an ordinance where trustees could be ousted for delaying city business. Things were set up beforehand in order to have all her shit passed. The mob tactics again. Honestly, this is fucking sick. This is absolutely fucking sick.
90% pay cut. Nice. So by the end of 2023, various things had come to light. And it's slowly beginning to look like Tiffany isn't quite as legit as previously thought. And
Gee,
more
you
things are
fucking
surfacing.
think?
People online managed to dig up a decade-old mugshot from the Chicago Police Department. Is that the people's mayor breaking into someone's car? This was in 2016, while she was a sitting trustee. She'd also made the news in 2019 for effectively being a slumlord.
I want to talk to you about that house on Dearborn. Can we do that?
My attorney's right here, so if you got any questions, I have legal counsel. Talk to my attorney.
So you want me to talk to your attorney and not you? You can't tell me how that house failed an inspection in October when it just passed it beforehand?
If you have any questions, talk to my attorney.
Gave out petrol to residents during her 2021 campaign.
It is probably illegal.
Her bachelor's degree, probably fake. And
God damn it, I knew it. She really is just a slimy, scammy fucking hood rat. Yeah. She is just a piece of shit hood rat. A ghetto piece of shit.
her entrepreneurial burger restaurant, not looking great either. Over at Good Burger, taken from the movie Good Burger, there are issues.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Your own ingredients?
We bake burgers.
What's in there? I can see the blood. And you made this?
My very own turkey burger.
That is hideous. At least it's seasoned.
Now, you know that's not fair, sneaking up on a man when he's eating a Tiffany juicy burger. Seeing that you're here, let me just fill you in. When a man gets a hold of a burger like this in his hand, this is like heaven.
It's operating at the South Suburban College, and turns out they have more than $1,500 in unpaid bills from her. The college has filed numerous complaints. Unsanitary conditions, failure to clean equipment, inadequate staff, inadequate background checks on staff, 33 months late rent, and failure to pay commissions for 4 years, and then attempting to pay it off with a bounced check. She'd also tried to pitch Good Burger on Shark Tank.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? So there you have it, Sharks. A fun, friendly atmosphere where I would like you guys to come and check it out. I am urging the Sharks to invest in Good Burger because I would like to have a mobile food truck. That's right, you heard it, mobile.
Oh my God. No, Gordon did not, Hunter. That was just edited. Anybody catching this? Anybody catching this? Bingo, Sketty. This is the guy that she installed as, I think it was the clerk? Or, not the clerk, fuck, what was the position? This was the guy that she installed in the position when the not the code enforcement, or not the code enforcement officer. No, not the code compliance officer. No. This was, remember the position that the former county clerk held? For the life of me, I'm blanking on what the position was, but it was actually a position in the township manager. Yeah, I think that was it, Leo. The township manager? That's the guy she installed as the township. Yeah, Keith Freeman. That's him. That's him. That's why they're zooming in on him like this. That's Keith Freeman. He worked for her at Good Burger.
I am seeking $100,000 for 10% equity in my business. Here we have an all-beef, hand-packed patty. I just put it in and I inject. Look at that go. 1,000,001 reasons of why you
God.
Invest here at Good Burger.
But no luck. Good Burger is eventually involuntarily dissolved by the Secretary of State.
No, Garrett, no, that looked fucking disgusting. That burger looked nasty as fuck.
2024, and Dolton is now on the map. Nationwide news almost every other week. People's gardens and basements are also flooding. A plague of potholes on the roads. Traffic lights not working. And then a ton of police vehicles about to be repossessed. That ice rink is also holding up well.
Oh, God.
This is bad.
But it's alright. Tenure is hard at work, planning ice cream socials for seniors and dancing. In mid-January, she flies to DC for the annual Mayor's Conference, where she gets a tour of the White House and meets Joe Biden. She ends up sending the bill for this to the wrong taxpayers. Okay, at this point, village and township staff are becoming increasingly frustrated and getting more and more.
How the fuck did it take this long? This is 3 fucking years. How the fuck did it take this long for people to start having issues like this? Yeah, Sphinx, exactly. Holy shit.
More vocal with their criticism, so Tiffany clamps down. And when staff in the township get to the office, they notice something. None of their key fobs work. Had Tenure changed the locks? They're now unable to get into the building and do their job. Also, the residents' sensitive tax documents are just scattered all over the building. In February, there's a township board meeting. Residents rock up as usual to sit, watch, and ask questions. However, this time, when they get to the stairs leading up to the boardroom, their path is blocked. They're apparently told the meeting is actually taking place in the basement, so they head down there. And when they get there, just a TV in the middle of the room, live streaming the meeting taking place upstairs. However, audio issues on the TV mean no one can actually hear anything. And within 4 minutes, the meeting upstairs is over, and Tenure is gone. Meanwhile,
okay, I'm sorry, but this was at a point in time where protests were very much a fucking thing? Why are we not hearing about protests? Why were people not, like, marching in front of City Hall protesting? Seriously, like protests were, like, becoming very common in 2024. So, no, Andrew, no, I don't buy that. No, that is an excuse. I don't buy that. Because it doesn't matter what political affiliation is, right? It doesn't matter what political affiliation anyone is, they will protest against. This is like protests were a thing. If you were pissed off about something, you protested against it. And obviously the people of town, they're not happy with what they're doing. They're shutting her out. She's shutting them out every 6 ways to Sunday. Why were there no protests? It's psychotic. If this is not being driven to it at this point, I don't know what the fuck would drive anybody to it. Like, the town is in a fucking shambles. People are getting run out of town via mob tactics. What the fuck is it going to take to drive them to it at this point?
She had people gathered in the basement in order to prevent dissension. At a later meeting, she had security state that clap.
Okay, Gramps, I'm going to say I'm very impressed that the Samuel L. Jackson TTS like that actually put in an at that pause. I'm impressed, honestly.
While in Dolton Village Hall, lockdown 2. This time, it's not just a few employees. Almost everyone is locked out of the entire building. Instead of walking in and speaking with a help desk, residents are now forced to handle bills or licenses through a security guard stationed behind a window in a small, cramped vestibule. Even trustees, they're locked out too. The locks have been changed, and their mailboxes are now outside of the building. In response, they hold a board meeting in a park. April 1st, a board meeting is set to take place in the village, and for such a special occasion, residents are actually allowed in. However, this time, things are different. Around 100 people show up, and only 42 are allowed inside. This is after getting wanded down and walking through metal detectors. This means dozens are locked outside, and they're not too pleased.
No, I'd expect
people
not.
Are now banging on doors and windows, giving the session an atmosphere.
Infernal Seraph, they're not just complicit, they're on the fucking payroll. Okay, don't mistake this. The police in Dolton are corrupt as fuck. More than half of them are on this mayor's payroll. They're functioning as her private security. So this is not anywhere as benign as being complicit.
Hordes of people are now banging on doors and windows, giving the session an atmosphere more akin to a round of COD zombies than a run-of-the-mill village board meeting.
Good!
It's around the same time that FBI agents begin spawning in Dolton and asking questions.
Yes! Fuck yes! And here we go!
Subpoenas are dished out like hotcakes. They hit Good Burger, Henyard's property management company, her political fund, and the Tiffany Cares Foundation.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Township finances, business dealings, personnel files, tax documents, credit card expenditures, and vehicle use are also requested. They also subpoena her
Nice.
boyfriend. Henyard comes out swinging. This is a smear campaign, she says. She's under attack by a corrupt board of trustees, while she's working tirelessly for the people, paving streets, building parks, and constructing ice rinks. She creates the YouTube channel Tiff Speaks the Truth to post receipts. Her defense is strong.
Basically fighting against the devil, the evil spirits. I'm the good spirit, they the evil spirit.
Also, amid the village's intense financial concerns, she announces a $1 million giveaway on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Fucking what? Where in the holiest of fucks are you coming up with $1 million goddamn dollars? Where are you coming up with that money? Okay, this is not going to go well.
Remember that economic development trip back in 2023? Well, in April, we get some news. Turns out, one of the trustees on the trip had allegedly been sexually assaulted by another. She'd told Tiffany about this at the time, and Tiffany's alleged response? Lay her off and cover it up.
Holy shit! Wait. The one who did the assaulting, is that her employee from Good Burger that she brought on to the position of township? What the fuck's his name? Mr. Freeman? Is he the one that did the assault?
And now, Tiffany is dished another lawsuit. An activist from Chicago is airdropped into Dolton, and during a village board meeting, he confronts the trustee in question. Things get heated. Also, that trip? First-class plane tickets for everyone, and a lot of smashing. Car rentals, casinos, Ubers, bubblegum shrimp. Altogether, over $34,000 spent, courtesy of the village of Dolton. No business ever came of this economic development trip, and Tiffany denies going.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No.
Gotcha, bitch!
Wait. You done fucked up now.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
In April, a resolution is voted through, requiring Henyard to actually submit village financial records. She vetoes it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
She's also now using a gold microphone. Also, turns out her village administrator Keith Freeman has been a very naughty boy. And in March, he's indicted for bankruptcy fraud, apparently hiding $100,000 of income through a pass-through company and swiping an unauthorized $90K from a previous job. So he has to go. This is a chance to change, to get someone in that's actually good, a new slate and clean record. She replaces him with Michael A. Smith, a man with 8 criminal charges, including domestic battery, impersonating a police officer to steal petrol, and the harassment of a school student. Then on Good Friday, her...
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, she thinks she's a fucking gangster. She is acting like a fucking gangster. Holy fuck! Alright, FBI, help me out here.
Chief of Staff clocks in for a shift of Big Bingo. However, mid-shift, she feels funny and checks her blood pressure, slightly elevated. So she goes to the hospital and turns out she's actually having a heart attack. Naturally, she doesn't return to Big Bingo. A couple of days later, and there's a meeting at the township. Here, Tiffany allegedly tells her that's not an excuse to call off work, and next time take your blood pressure meds. Okay.
Okay. No, you know, I'm not gonna say it because every 5 seconds I'm just gonna be saying, you know, fucking lawsuit, or I'm gonna end up being repeating. Let's just keep going.
We tried a recall, no luck. We tried to curb her spending. Nope. The FBI are here, but their investigation could take years, and right now, we can't even see the village's finances. So the Dolton Village Board decides on a new approach. Let's get a special investigator to come in and basically work out what the fuck is going on here.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
And their choice? A woman named Lori Lightfoot. Trustees vote.
Yay! No! Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, fucking hell. No kidding, Revan. Okay, for those of you that don't realize why I and other people in chat are having this reaction right now, Lori Lightfoot is the former, I think at this point she was the former mayor of Chicago. And she was corrupt as fuck. That's who Lori Lightfoot is. The former corrupt mayor of Chicago. That is why we are going, are you fucking kidding me? She'll allow Tiffany to pay her the fuck off in no time fucking flat. Oh, my sweet fuck, you've gotta be kidding me. Alright, how badly is this gonna go?
And the special investigation goes ahead. But during the next meeting, Tenure just vetoes it.
You know how much I sacrificed?
In June, it's the next meeting, and trustees override Tenure's veto, and the special investigation goes ahead again. Lightfoot takes to the mic to make a little speech, but midway through, mic's muted. The meeting degenerates, and police have to break up the room before it becomes an all-out brawl. Okay, about...
Alright, you know what? I have a question. Why haven't... after this happened, why didn't the trustees literally just record what Lori Lightfoot was going to say? If they were so confident that it was going to be inflammatory against Tiffany, why didn't they just record it?
Ember, bringing in Lightfoot is like hiring John Dillinger to be a bank examiner.
Like, I'm aware. Very aware. What? Why didn't they just record Lori Lightfoot's statement and fucking post it on YouTube? And then just send all of the people of Dolton the link. Why not just record it and post it on YouTube if they're gonna if Tiffany's gonna try and shut it down like that?
About Lori Lightfoot. Until recently, she was the mayor of Chicago, and during that time, she's not too popular. During the first lockdown, Lightfoot had come down hard, ordering all non-essential workers to stay at home for months on end. A few weeks in, and she's spotted next to her barber with a fresh trim.
I like it cut, G.
I take my personal hygiene very seriously, she says. This doesn't go down well.
Brother, this guy stinks!
She's also seen driving around the streets of Chicago, literally screaming at people to go home. Then there's the general mismanagement of the city, a surge in theft and robberies.
Let me tell you something!
And she's also trying to shut down public FOIA requests, despite campaigning on openness and transparency. This results in over 109 lawsuits. She's also singing, dancing, and making TikToks.
This part I didn't know about. The singing, dancing, making TikToks. This was the fucking inspiration for Tiffany, bitch. This was the inspiration for the stupid fucking hood rat. The hood rat saw Lori Lightfoot do this and thought, hey, it worked for her. I can use it small scale in Dolton. I'll be just like Lori Lightfoot. Now the pieces are falling into place. Hood rat C, hood rat do.
This is while Chicago turns into a harsh wasteland, awash with violent crime, which has risen 40%
No,
with her
Brigham,
in
you
charge.
cannot.
This is the woman picked to investigate Tiffany Henyard, and she's being paid $400 an hour to do it. Anyway,
Fucking
around
hell.
3 months later, and in August 2024...
Okay, Ed, I'm sorry. I've got to point the finger at the trustees on this one. Lori Lightfoot was known at this point to be an absolute dogshit mayor. This was fucking known at this point. This is not new news. Okay, remember, this is 2024. Lori Lightfoot had been in the news plenty of times about all the corrupt shit she's been doing. And the trustees chose her as their investigator. So this is squarely on fucking the trustees for choosing that bitch to be their investigator. What kind of fucking brain trust was this collection of people that they're this fucking stupid? Yeah, at this point, it's not only do you have an insanely corrupt mayor, you've got a bunch of brain trust trustees that are completely inept and shouldn't have been in the job in the first fucking place. None of these people should have had their fucking jobs. Not one of them.
The investigation is getting somewhere, so Lightfoot holds a press conference showcasing some findings. Turns out, Tiffany and friends had access to 6 Dolton credit cards, and they made use of them. $218,000 on Amazon purchases, $43,000 of that spent in one day. The village doesn't have an Amazon account. Almost $400,000 on 3 vehicles, around $8,000 on hair and makeup in a couple of months, $170,000 on business travel, trips to Atlanta, New York, Jackson,
Holy
and Portland,
shit.
with first-class seats, and tens of thousands on Four Seasons and Marriott hotel stays. More than $51,000 on food, thousands of dollars a month to an Atlanta-based PR firm, and then the $15,000 for her inauguration party. Something she'd said she'd pay for.
I told you it was coming back. I fucking told you this was coming back.
And then the $15,000 for her inauguration party. Something she'd said she'd pay for herself. Overall, at least $780,000 in undocumented and unapproved village expenses, as well as $1 million in police overtime. This is in a village of 20,000 people. Also, the village's legally required state audits and reports never filed. The legally required treasurer position never filled. The village's accounting software tracking receipts, payments, and checks. Everyone's locked out. There had been a few finance directors, but they...
Okay. Now we have a fault of the state. If they were legally required to file these documents and legally required to have a treasury position and they did not, now that's on the state for not taking action. That one is, like, obviously, Tiffany is a crooked bitch. Some are called villages, Revan. I think it depends on the size of said town. Like the population determines how it's labeled. So in a population of 20,000, it would be classified as a village. With larger populations, it could be classified as a town. Larger would be classified as a city. So it's all depending upon population density is what the classification is. But why didn't the state take action when she refused to fill these positions that legally needed to be filled and paperwork legally needed to be filed? That's on the fucking state. So there is just fuckery all over the place here.
were intermittent and only worked part-time. As a result, the village finances not great. Back in April 2022, the village had a surplus of $5.6 million in its general fund. This is the account used to fund day-to-day operations. When the village contracted people for work, they actually paid them. Fast forward to mid-2024, and that is now minus $3.6 million, a $9 million swing. They haven't been able to pay anyone since March 2023. 589 checks, worth around $6 million, approved, printed, and sent out to vendors, but bouncing right back. Okay, things are not looking great, but it's fine. This is a private...
Yeah, I was off too. I thought it would have been 8 figures. It's only 7 figures, so I was off too.
...investigation. Lightfoot has no official power, and no legal consequences can come of it. So that same month, time to get the beers in. It's the Taste of Thornton street party, and Henyard is flying in famous rappers and singers for it. This event costs over $85,000. $4,000 of that is on bouncy castles. She also has plans for a picnic. Trustees object to this, but to no avail. And on the 1st of September, the Friends of Tiffany Henyard picnic is held at her rink. Skating, food giveaways, more bouncy castles. Right, enough. And funding for all events is officially cut. Gospel Fest, House Fest.
Didn't they try to do this before and it didn't fucking work? Every fucking time the trustees say, oh, no more, we're cutting it off. Nope, no more, we're cutting it off. Tiffany just says, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, at this point, I don't give a shit what the trustees do. The trustees lost control a long fucking time ago. The trustees have no fucking power and they have no fucking authority over Tiffany. She is literally doing whatever the fuck she wants. So what the trustees said doesn't matter. They're the fucking human equivalent of Whose Line. Where the jokes are bad and the points don't matter. Like, this is like, again, I'm shocked that the state itself did not get involved. Well, yeah, Sphinx, that's what I'm saying. I'm really shocked that there hasn't been calls to the state to come down and do something about this.
Even Big Bingo. Gone. Tiffany and her boyfriend, who now has a job running the township's at-risk youth program for $100K a year, are now also facing eviction. See, they'd had a $200 rent increase, and in response, decided to just stop paying rent entirely.
I'm not leaving!
They were on a combined salary of almost $400K a year. They also changed the locks and garage code, so now their landlord can't even step foot in the building. Also, more bankruptcy fraud. This time, Henyard's chief policeman is indicted, having filed for bankruptcy 9 times. This was allegedly done to hide assets, bank accounts, and monthly income from creditors. He's shown the door. Despite all of this,
he should be shown a fucking jail cell. Not just the door, he should be head first into a jail cell, right along with this bitch.
Spirits remain high, and she's decided now's a great time to announce her bid for re-election. She closes out the year, threatening to arrest opponents.
I will be seeking arrests for individuals involved.
And getting booed out of board meetings. The year is now 2025. Dolton is almost...
By the way, I'm just going to point out, she's literally... When she said that she was going to arrest her political opponents... Yeah. So much I could say about that little nugget. But I'm not going to. But I think you guys all kind of know where my brain is going on this one.
$4 million in the hole, has around 50 lawsuits against it, and the village's super mayor is barely even turning up to meetings anymore. Regardless, this is a big year. Both of Henyard's positions are up for grabs, and she's gunning for a second term for both. But on the township side, bad news. She's just lost the Democratic primary nomination for supervisor, which means that now that's essentially out of reach. It's okay. She can still run for re-election as Dolton's mayor, and she's confident. In fact, she predicts a landslide.
When I come in with a landslide this evening, I'm going to be so great. Y'all can all come to the after party.
She's now running against Jason House, a Dolton trustee and previous ally. And election day isn't far off. So
okay, this is still a fucking problem. This is still a fucking problem. If this man was a trustee of Dolton and a former ally, what makes anyone think that he's going to be any better than her? She, like, it's going to be same shit, different day. Like, honestly, you need someone that has zero affiliation with her whatsoever, was not a trustee. You need someone that was not associated with any of this shit in the fucking first place to run for mayor. The problem is, and I already know what you guys might say, the problem is there's probably no one in that town with the knowledge or political savvy or business experience that wants the fucking job. And therein lies the problem. It's a never-ending perpetual cycle. That you're going to get the same pieces of shit in there time after time because nobody that actually could stand a chance will actually live in that fucking town. Because who would want to? Exactly, Spinks. Yeah, you need a clean slate candidate, but no one of that stripe is going to live in that town because the town is corrupt as shit. Crime and violent crime has skyrocketed. Who would fucking live there that would have that level of pedigree? No one.
She ramps up her campaign. This involves making diss tracks. Tuesday, January 28th. And a board meeting in Dolton starts like any other. The trustees gather, and residents sit down to watch. However, that Chicago activist from earlier, well, he's here too. And he's walking up to the microphone to make a statement.
Oh.
You go, bitch.
A massive brawl breaks out instantly. Henriette's boyfriend rushes in its wings. Another bloke not long after that. Tiffany herself not long after that. Screams, shoving, punches, pandemonium. A security guard hits the deck. Henriette loses a shoe.
I think that's Tiffany's too.
Her wig also gets some airtime. She hits her head on.
She's wearing a fucking weave? Her fucking weave came flying off? It wasn't fucking God. Oh my God. I never heard what that Chicago activist could have said. All we heard is "you go, bitch," and that's all we fucking heard. There had to have been more than that.
On a table and hits the deck too. Multiple gets some airtime. She hits her head on a table and hits the deck too. Multiple televisions in the room smash.
Was this board meeting at a Waffle House?
Actually, Leo, I was gonna say it was more like it turned into a Jerry Springer episode. Because Jerry Springer did used to get filmed in Chicago for some time. So that would be a bit more appropriate.
And people injured. The police are called and the meeting is over. Henriette, her boyfriend, and the township are sued for assault and battery and emotional distress. Her boyfriend is also fired.
Crying at it.
25th of February, 2025. It's election day in Dolton, and votes begin to come in. And eventually, the results for the Democratic nomination are taking shape. And Tiffany Henriette loses.
Gotcha, bitch!
It's not close. After years of public service, Dolton's super mayor is let go.
Fucking
Cast into
finally!
Gone.
Now hook her up. Hook
She
her the
says
fuck
people
up.
didn't give her a chance.
People didn't give me a chance. I think that I was blindsided
Fuck
from
you,
the go.
stupid cunt.
I came in 2021.
No. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go to jail. I'm waiting for the day that we hear she gets hooked the fuck up, and God knows how much of a laundry list of financial crimes she's gonna get charged with. Holy shit. Watch. Oh my goodness, that was insane.